people, thanks for joining me. I'm Scott, and this is a 1976 Fender Telecaster. Going to be getting this old beater back into shape today. Going to be replacing the pickups, the bridge, the saddles, the pots, maybe the switch. I don't know, doing some finish repairs. We'll be changing out the tuners, touching up the headstock, and getting it all set up and ready to rock. So special thanks to Brian Lowe for bringing this in this week and coming up with the title for the video. He likes tuning in every week, watching to see what I'm up to, and has brought me two of these guitars now, two Tellies. The other one, I featured a video back in November of 2024, and now this one's going to air in April or May of 2025. So we're getting rid of the old brass bridge and the Seymour Duncan rail pickup. We're also going to replace that pickup there. We'll check out these electronics. Probably, I don't know, maybe we'll have to repair a couple of these little chips, but one of the main things is this headstock. Over here it looks like someone's really scratched away for some reason. There's some of the finish is missing there. Well, we want to preserve that decal, but we also want to touch it up and make it look good. So where's that serial number? 76. There it is. Right there. 1976. We'll pull the neck off the body, see what the neck pocket says. We're going to get these old bulky tuners off the headstock because we have some F-style, 70s and 80s style Fender tuners to put on. The ones that would have originally come with it. And fortunately, the bushings fit in these same holes. We're not going to have to repair the holes, but while these tuners and string trees are off of here, I'll be able to do the finish repair to the headstock, front and back. The back of the headstock has polyester for a finish, and the front has lacquer. So we'll use glue boost on the back and shellac French polish on the front. Made in Germany. I like German stuff. I can't say I like those. Right away I can see two severed screws. Most likely I'm not going to be able to extract those without pulling off some of this wood and plugging the holes. There. That was a quick extraction of screw. Now I'm going to put a little dowel in that hole. Let me pull this one out, do the same. There. This one was a little more stubborn. And it was quite a bit longer. Oh, what a relief it is to pull the screw. Oh, that guitar's got to feel good now. Could you imagine walking around with a severed screw stuck in you all these years? one. This headstock has more holes in it than J.P. Morgan's alcoholic nose. I'll use a little Tight Bond Original. Plug these holes with some small dowels. What is it, Scooter? You need to go outside? That's Scooter. I'll use this bar clamp to help force the dowel down in the hole. And then we'll clean up the glue squeeze out with some wet paper towels. Let it dry for an hour, and then we'll come in here and saw them flush. Scooter's a Boston Terrier, and he is quite vocal. But sometimes he just wants to treat. You know, he's a bit of a con artist. I clean with naphtha. Oh yeah. I knew there was going to be a bit of dirt on here. But it looks like someone was scratching away at the original finish, and it's a little discolored there as it makes that transition up towards the nut. Probably won't be able to adjust the color too much, but I'm going to fill in this little chip here on the decal. Decal. There's a little micron pen, black, 02, and we'll make that E look nice, and we'll go over top. Okay, when the neck was on the body and the strings were up to tension, it measured 12 thousandths of an inch relief. Right now we've got about 4 thousandths of an inch relief on the proper's relief gauge. Alright, I tightened the truss rod just a skosh. Should be about right. Okay, I tightened the truss rod a little bit more, and now I'm showing 2 thousandths of an inch relief, maybe 1. So the truss rod is definitely working. It's going to have 9 through 42 strings, so it's probably only going to pull about 5 thousandths of an inch relief into it, so we can always come back and take the neck off and adjust it again later, but I think like a 10 thou relief would be good on one of these old tellies. So I'm not going to tighten it any further for now. We'll start desoldering some of these wires. We've got some period correct pots, pickups, switches, etc. I believe it's a bit of a gamble buying used components online and mixing and matching them and putting them all in an old guitar like this. I mean, they're used for a reason. They probably weren't working too good, and someone's trying to sell them off. That pickup didn't work, but I bench tested the new neck pickup. This one here, it looks like it's been rewound. It has new lead wires and a nice shiny cover on it, so this one should sound pretty good according to the resistance reading that I got from the ohm meter. I want to get that pick guard back on real quick, just in case it's one of those ones that shrinks. They start shrinking as soon as you unscrew them from the body, so we'll get it screwed back in. Did you notice that suntan this body had on it? Now I'll start wiping on some of that shellac. This is the same batch of shellac that I used a few weeks ago on the Guild Sunburst, but the refinish that I did on the top of that old Guild D50 acoustic guitar. Alright, I'll remove the lead wires from the bridge pickup at the switch, and then I'll remove the switch wire to the pot. That's the volume pot. Leg number 1, or terminal 1. Those black wires on the back of the pot are ground wires. There's a ground wire from both pickups and a ground wire coming from the bridge chassis. Now this is the wire from the output jack. That's the hot wire. It goes from the middle leg of the volume pot to the output tip. Okay, and that is the capacitor that I just removed. That's just what they call a polyester capacitor. It's a 0.022 microfarads. Alright, now that all those wires are loose, I can remove the control plate, and every 10-15 minutes I go back and wipe on a few more coats of shellac. Got that neck in the Total Vise number 7, so I can swivel it around, get you guys a better angle to see what I'm in here. We'll change directions once in a while and make a pattern that is opposite direction from the original line. Sometimes I'll do diagonal swipes and mix it up just a little bit. Typically I use shellac with denatured alcohol and mineral oil as a lube. We're going to clean out these cavities and go back and wipe. I've done several of these old headstocks this way and they turn out great. You could spray lacquer over it too, but then you'd have to take it outside, yada yada. I can do all this right next to the electronics bench. I'm going to scratch up this substance that's down in the bottom of each routed cavity here. It's some kind of powdery stuff. It's probably been in there for 40 years. What a mess. Just kind of loosen it up so I can vacuum it out of there. Now we're going to start addressing some of these dings in the polyester side of the finish on the back of the neck and the headstock. Clean with naphtha. We gotta cut them dowels. Now we'll start dropping in the glue boost. Ultra thin. we'll just start with the clear glue boost and see if we need to add a little bit of color. Some master tint. I think we will add a little bit of, we'll do a little master tint brown, very diluted. Maybe just a touch of the accelerator. But I think a little bit of the master glue amber might be nice over here. Yeah. Dirty amber. I mixed it up. When I mix a little brown with a little bit of amber, I call it dirty amber. And some of you guys said you met her back in high school. I don't know about that. But I've been hearing from a lot of you guys. I just heard from a fellow up in Philadelphia that watched one of the videos, and he wanted to thank me because he was going to tackle a similar job and sent me an email, told me he was going to purchase a t-shirt for my spring shop. And I know a lot of you guys have done that. I want to say thanks. It helps me out a little bit. It's I don't get all the money from that, maybe $5 per shirt or something. After a few days, I like to take a little bit of Meguiar's Mirror Glaze 105 Ultra Cut Compound and just buff off the headstock. Just shine it up. I could have taken some like 2000 grit, maybe some Trizact to it also, but this time I didn't. Those are the new F-style tuners. They're period correct, and they kind of butt end to end, so they cover up all those old holes. All that Swiss cheese is hidden, and there's those bushings. Told you they pretty much cover they fit right into those holes that were left by the shallers. And now I've got to figure out where I put those string trees, and I think they went into the bag with the shallers. So I got to dig those back out of the guitar case and install those. But first, I got the new bridge pickup with the new chrome bridge, chrome saddles and screws. The brass had to go. I don't know why, but it actually didn't sound too bad, that old Seymour Duncan. I think maybe after old Brian hears this thing, he's going to want to pay me to put that Seymour Duncan back in. We'll see. I need to get out them power tools. Use them if you got them. Next, I'll install the new old stock 250k ohm potentiometers, variable resistors for some of you. 250 kilo ohms resistance. First, I'll prepare the back side where the ground wires go. I try not to solder over the codes. A lot of times I get these in and there's a big blob of solder right on there and you can't read it. Solder. I know some of you guys like to pronounce it solder. Some guys in Armenia pronounce it different. But we call it solder. Okay, so this is the lead wire coming in from the bridge pickup. It goes down here on one end, and then the lead wire from the neck pickup goes down on the other end.
And then the signal output from the switch goes to leg number 1 of the volume pot. And then from leg number 1 of the volume pot, it goes to leg number 3 of the tone pot. Just little jumper wires. Now I'm using copper heat sinks on the legs of the capacitor. And this is a ceramic 0.022 microfarad capacitor. I'm pretty sure that's what Fender used, was ceramic capacitors. I know my 1980 Fender has a ceramic capacitor. It's a little bit bigger. It's probably a higher voltage rating, but guitar electronics don't need a high voltage rating on their components, so these teeny tiny ones work just fine. There's no difference really in their performance or function. I'm doubling up on the heat sinks now because things are getting hot. Now the middle leg, or leg number 2 of the volume pot, goes to the output jack tip. We'll also want to ground between the 2 pots. So this is just a jumper wire that connects both of the chassis of the 2 pots. It's the ground connection between the 2. Now I'll solder in the ground wire from the neck pickup right next to the ground wire from the bridge pickup. In between the codes, don't want to get messy. I'm not like the world's most perfect solderer, but at least I try not to mess up the codes. Got our knobs here. I did put a washer on one of the pots because the height of the knobs was a little different. Had to put a little spacer in there. Used a washer. Alright. Vintage style tuners, you got to cut the strings before you put them down in the hole. That headstock looks a lot better. So glad he brought it to me. You know, a lot of times what I get, new customers, they find me because they're looking for someone that does finish repairs. And finish repairs are the final frontier of this profession. So I decided to make it my niche right from the start. And you'd be surprised how many times I get a new customer just because I do a finish repair on one guitar. Next thing you know, they bring the whole collection in, you know, one at a time. 5-6 months later, I've worked on a dozen or more of their guitars and made a new relationship that lasts for years. So it's been really great. I want to thank all you guys for watching. And we're getting to the finish line here. We're going to snap on the ashtray. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Hope to catch you guys soon. Appreciate you hanging out. We'll see you.